I ran across an article from The Atlantic, and it's pretty interesting. It discusses a little documentary in which this prison warden corrects the prisoners and turns them into men, moral, God-fearing men. And just think about how disgusting that is, man. So before I go any further, let me read this to you. So, the Atlantic says, this is from 2015, by the way. This is by no means new. This is a little old, but for those of you who haven't heard about it, I'd like to explain it to you. So it says, the film tells two overlapping stories. One is of accomplished against incredible odds, of a man who stepped into the most violent maximum security prison in the nation and gave the men there, discarded and damned, sorry, what society didn't: hope, education, and a moral compass. First off, I want to start with moral compass. Who the fuck decides what's moral and what's not moral? You? The prison warden? So what you deem moral is what these prisoners have to abide by? Is what these prisoners have to go by? So I'll continue. Burl Cain, the warden of Angola Prison, which is in Louisiana, has created a controversial model for rehabilitation. Through work and religion, they learn to help each other and try to become better fathers to their children on the outside. Perhaps the lucky few even find redemption. Just gotta love that word, rehabilitation. Some viewers of the video might be surprised to learn that inmates at Angola, once cleared by the prison doctor, can be forced to work under threat of punishment as severe as solitary confinement. Legally, this labor may be totally uncompensated. More typically, inmates are paid meagerly, as little as 2 cents per hour, for their full-time work in the fields, manufacturing warehouses, or kitchens. How is this legal? Didn't the 13th Amendment abolish all forms of slavery and involuntary servitude in this country? No, it fucking didn't. Let me read you what it says. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Are they going to abuse the fuck out of this for monetary gain? You bet your fucking ass they are. And that's exactly what they're doing. This is slavery, man. You don't throw people in prison to turn them into your workers. You don't throw people in prison so that you can torture them when they disobey the authority. Sorry, I had to. But no, like, as I'm saying, okay, you don't put somebody in prison so you can torture them. All right? Like I was talking about earlier, so if you don't work, they throw you into solitary confinement. Do you know what solitary confinement is? Do you know what solitary confinement consists of? They throw you in a small-ass fucking cell with no light, no furniture, and you're left there in the dark. Completely confined. Solitary confinement. Confined. That's torture, man. People start to hallucinate. They start to lose their fucking minds in there. And you can get thrown in there for disrespecting the authority. What kind of shit is that? How humane is that? How can you say we are a civilized society, like the progressives and conservatives spew out? We're a civilized Western civilization. Actually, that's the wrong accent. It's more like, we, the Westerns, are superior. Yes. We are the most civilized race. Okay, yeah, I know, it was a little bit fucking horrible and a little bit cheesy, but I don't give a fuck. So, anyways, as I'm saying, like, it's not civilized. It's not at all. The whole purpose of you being in prison is if you do something batshit crazy or fucking reckless that throws people in harm's way and you are a danger to the rest of the population, you put them there to keep them away from the population. That's it. Why do you need to torture them? Why do you need to subject them to all these atrocities? Why? There's no fucking reason whatsoever. What do you gain out of it? What are you gaining personally by putting people through rehabilitation? Because honestly, the last time I checked, when you put people through mental stress and physical stresses, they break down. They break down and they lose their fucking minds, making them crazier. And when they get released, if they get released, they're probably going to do something even more fucking stupid because they're so mentally fucked up in the head by what they experienced in prison. And that's the inevitable result of an authoritarian police force. So many people get locked up for resisting arrest. I just made a previous video about that. You get locked up for resisting arrest because you're afraid of the cops. Because the cops are such fucking authoritarian bastards that people are terrified. They try to run, or they try to escape, or a cop puts them in a chokehold, and they elbow the cop. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would do that. They would elbow the fucking cop. Because at that point, it's not about authority. At that point, it's not about moral principle. It's a fight or flight response. I'm being choked. I must stop being choked. How can I stop being choked? Elbow him. Punch him. Throw him over you. Whatever. You're going to do that. Because it's a fight or flight response. We're not perfect. People are not fucking perfect. We need to get rid of this shit. It's an absolute joke to say we've gotten rid of slavery. It's an absolute fucking joke. And you know, they're fucking using petty crimes. They're throwing minorities in these fucking shitty, dirty-ass fucking neighborhoods. And then they're fucking sending them to prison. And then, well, they're subjecting them to slavery. So how can you say that you freed the slaves? How can you say that we're a free country, a slave-free country, when you have this fucking shit going on? It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. And it's not something I'm fucking proud of at all. I don't support this country in that sense. No fucking way. After everything that we've done, I just want to start over. I want to start fucking new. We've committed so many atrocities. We've committed so many war crimes in the name of our country. It's despicable. It's deplorable. I don't want to continue using that name. I would much rather start something new.